Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be taking a look at the request of a viewer of the channel. We're going to be taking a look at a Redragon keyboard. We had a viewer comment on my MSI keyboard review video asking what it's like compared to a Redragon, and as I said to that person, I've never used a Redragon, but I will pick one up and see what I think and give my thoughts on it. So that is just the interior box. I will show you the exterior box and then we'll go through a few things. So today we're going to be checking out the Redragon K621 Horus, however you want to pronounce it, TKL, which obviously stands for 10 keyless. It's a compact wireless RGB packed board. Now these boards might surprise people because it is a low profile board, so it's a lot like a laptop keyboard, but it's still mechanical, so it uses mechanical switches. So let's get it out of the box and take a look at it. So it comes in a nice little box. Obviously your keyboard is here, we will take a look at that in a minute. Under this section here you do get obviously two different versions of a keycap puller. Well, one is for the actual caps, to pull the caps off, and one is to remove the switch. You get a cable for charging the keyboard. It's just a USB type C. Obviously this is wireless. And then you get a box of replacement switches. I assume there is 3 to 5 in there, because the switches on this board are hot swappable, even though it's a low profile board. So we will stick these away and we will take a look at what we've got. So as you can see, it comes in the sleeve and you get your usual sort of stuff you would get with electronics. And this here is the keyboard. As you can see from the view here, it's a low profile board, so it's low profile keys, low profile switches. Underneath here is where your wireless dongle is, so I'm going to take that out, and then I will just plug this into the PC quickly so we can get it lit up. There we go. And then on the side here you've got your mode switch for Bluetooth 3.0 and 2.4 gigahertz. So there we go. On the bottom obviously you've got the feet that lift up, which you will probably need because it's low profile. It lies really flat. So there we go, as you can see. Now, right out of the box, obviously the first thing you notice is obviously how thin the keyboard is because it's a low profile board. It does have an aluminium or aluminum for my American pals top plate that gives it quite a premium feel and makes it quite a weighty keyboard, even though it's mostly plastic underneath it. Obviously its layout is 10 keyless, meaning you don't have obviously the number pad here, but Redragon did add 5 dedicated macro keys up here on the left hand side. To be honest, despite it being lightweight, it's not a flimsy board. Like, I'm trying to flex it here, there's not a lot of flex in it. Which is quite surprising for such a slim board. Like I said, it's quite weighty, but you expect that when it's got an aluminium top plate. The keyboard's got loads of features, so it's got tri-mode connectivity, so obviously it can be USB Type-C wired, Bluetooth 3.0, 2.4 gigahertz wireless with the included dongle. Obviously switching between them is easy enough because it's literally just this toggle switch at the side. Also your USB Type-C port is on the side there as well, which is a bit of a weird place to put it instead of at the rear, but whatever. The battery life on this, you get around 40 hours with your RGB on, and you get way longer with the RGB off. Like I said, the charging is done by the USB Type-C cable. You can use it while it's charging at the same time. The onboard RGB has preset modes, which is this button up here. You'll see when I press it, a light bulb and an M lights up, as you can see. So you can press that, and that will cycle through different sort of pre-made modes for the keyboard. You can go on to Redragon software for this board and customize the RGB yourself if you don't want to use one of the sort of pre-installed settings for it. I like the RGB. It's not as advanced as like your high-end sort of premium boards, but for the price of the keyboard, which we'll get to in a bit, it's bright and it does the job. Now obviously we have the Redragon software, but like with most of my controller videos, I'm not going to show you it, because once you've seen software for a keyboard, you'll have seen all softwares for a keyboard. But it basically lets you remap your 5 macro keys, customize the lighting. It's simple software. It's a bit outdated, but it still sort of gets the job done, and that's all you really need. You're not going to spend a lot of time in it. Like I said, if you don't want to use it, most features of the board can be just used directly from the board without having to go into it, but it's software, that's up to you really. So I'll get into the price now. Like on Amazon, this board is like, it's seven, like in the UK, £70, £75. I managed to pick it up on sale on Amazon at £44.50. So for £44.50, it's a really good deal, to be honest. I don't know if any of the viewers currently watching seen my review of my MSI Forge keyboard that I'm currently using, but that was only like £10 cheaper, and this board feels way more premium than that does. Which people might be surprised about, because they see the Redragon name and they just assume it's Chinese and it's probably not very good, whereas you see the MSI name and you tend to trust it. It's not really how it works. Most stuff you buy anyway is built in China. There's no reason not to trust Chinese stuff. So there is that. The build quality is top. This one I ordered has low profile red switches in, which you can see there. Like I said, they are hot swappable. You can buy it with clicky blues if you don't want reds. Obviously reds are better for gaming, blues are better for typing. So you can get it with blues. Obviously if you bought it with reds, you can then go and buy blues and swap them all out yourself. So it's a good deal really for whoever wants to use it, because if you're a typist and you want a low profile keyboard, buy it with blue switches. If you're a gamer and want it for gaming, buy it with red switches. If you do a bit of both, buy it with red or blue switches and then go and buy the other switch. So it's good for that. The switches actually sound really nice. We go to there. They are just a solid switch. Redragon's website brands them as a Redragon switch, but knowing Chinese switches, they're probably Otomus or Otenmus or whatever they're called. The stabilizers are actually not half bad. Like the spacebar stabilizer, a lot of keyboards, if you press on the edges like that, the spacebar will rattle. Tap it, you can hear a little bit of rattle to it, but it's not massive. It's actually better than my MSI keyboard. My MSI keyboard rattles like hell on the spacebar, which is really irritating. Obviously up here as well, I didn't show you earlier, but up here as well there is like a volume control sort of slider that slides up and down. So that's really nice. It does have some premium features for quite a cheap keyboard. Yeah, there's not a lot really else to say about it. For a keyboard from a company that I've never used before, I'm actually quite impressed with this board, to be honest with you. If I had to say which one I'd go for between my MSI Forge and this Redragon board, I would probably go for the Redragon board. I actually prefer the lower profile sort of keys, and I just prefer the layout of this board and all the macro options and everything. So yeah, I would say thanks to the guy that asked me to review one of these, because you've just put me onto another keyboard that I really enjoy using. So that's me probably buying another 10 Redragon keyboards now. I should really get some sponsorship, I think. So yeah, I'd say if we do pros and cons on this keyboard, I'd say pros is the weight of it, which I suppose is subjective if you don't like a heavy keyboard, but I do, so to me that's a pro. I'd say another pro is the switches. I like the feel of them, the actuation points. They're just a nice sort of switch. And then I'd say the price point is another pro. If you can get it on sale at around £40–45, which I don't know what that is in dollars, probably 80-ish. I'd say it's a bargain for the price. Like I said, it's got some really premium features on it. I don't really think there's many cons to it, to be honest. I was going to list you some cons, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head. So yeah, I'd say if you're after a keyboard in around that £40–50 sort of price range, have a look at this. Like I said, this is the K621 Horus, whatever it is. I'd say take a look at one of these. Yeah, and we'll basically leave this video here. So all I'll say now is thanks for watching. Drop a like if you found this review helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you pick up one of these or if you prefer another board, especially low profile board. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. There'll be more reviews like this on the channel in the coming days.